Crypto Nation, what's going on, guys? You see that we're doing a live stream on a Monday. We don't typically do this, but we have a awesome guest that was gracious enough to let us borrow him for a moment. We got Samson Mao. If you guys don't know who he is, after this, hopefully you will know who he is. Of course, I've also got my buddies with me, Doge Lord and Crypto Mikkel. Yo.
What up, everybody? How are
What's
y'all
up,
doing
guys?
out there? Gundy.
And of
Tony
course,
H,
there's
Techman,
Bitcoin
Ninja.
Jake, my man. Thank you very much. Big shout out to Bitcoin Jake for helping set this up with Samson Mao. Thank you very much. Big shout out.
Mao. Samson's in the hizzy. Yeah, Mr. Lion himself. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on. Bitcoin
Really
Jake is
appreciate
awesome, by the way.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Very
he is.
awesome.
Yes, he is.
Love that guy.
He's been a community, contributor for quite some time. So, very OG.
Yes. Love what he does, and he helps contribute. So we appreciate it. Bitcoin Jake. You're awesome, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So, Samson, I really want to let you tell your story of about how you got into the crypto space. So, if you would basically just break it down for anybody that doesn't know who you are, could you tell us who you are, where you come from, and what brought you into crypto, and what have you built?
Oh man, I feel like I tell this story every couple of weeks.
Yes, I'm
course.
sure you do. I'm sure you do. Just give us the 30-second ad version of it.
All right, so I first read about Bitcoin, I think in TechCrunch, and it was about mining Bitcoin, and that's when I really had my interest peaked. Because I'm from the games industry originally, and games have their own economy. Online games have their own economy, inflation and all the different problems that come with economies. And I found Bitcoin was very refreshing because it's not under the control of anybody, and it's permissionless to mine it. So I kind of read about it, and I started setting up mining on my laptop. But I think it was too late at that time to actually mine on a laptop GPU or CPU even. So I don't think I got anything from it, but at least I got my feet wet. I think I probably read about it earlier than that, but I never really dug into it. But that TechCrunch article is the one that really got me playing around and experimenting with it. And then in 2015 or late 2014, early 2015, I joined up with BTC China, which was one of the largest exchanges. So after Mt. Gox imploded, I think most people went over to trade on BTC China, and that's how it got really big, really fast. And from there, I ended up joining with BlockStream, and I guess the rest is history.
Nice.
Very nice. So how did you get connected with BlockStream? Was that something that you created, or did they bring you on, say, we want you in this position?
Right, so BlockStream was founded in 2014, and I think I first interacted with them about the Liquid network. So they were signing up different exchanges to be a member of this federation. And they're probably looking for BTC China because we were one of the biggest at the time. I think Zappo was another early member, the Rock Trading, who else? Uno Coin. But basically there were a lot of members signed up at the time. And I think in 2016 in Milan, at Scaling Bitcoin Milan, Adam Beck started talking to me about potentially joining up with BlockStream. And I thought it would be an interesting career move to work on Bitcoin infrastructure rather than exchange. So I decided to make that jump over. And yeah, that's basically how it happened.
So is the conspiracy that Adam Beck is Satoshi from that one dude who tried to connect all these random dots? Is he Satoshi Nakamoto? You can tell us.
Well, we are all Satoshi Nakamoto, except for Craig Wright. Right? So Adam shares a lot of similarities, I think, with Satoshi. His background, his programming languages, the fact that he worked on Windows. Satoshi's first client was Windows-based, right? So
right.
You could make that connection, but then you could also make that connection with a lot of other people too.
Mm-hmm.
Like people have said Nick Szabo, Satoshi, but you're basically selecting from a very small set of individuals that were interested in eCash or digital cash.
Right.
And if you're looking at that smaller group in the early days, then technically anybody could have been Satoshi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I agree.
The potential is
Bitcoin-
there.
Bitcoin Jake says, "How did Samson meet all the magical crypto friends?"
Ooh,
Well,
I want to hear that
that's
story.
That's a good one, man. Because everyone wants to know about that.
Not everybody can be one of the magical crypto friends.
Yeah. Love the show, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes.
Love the show.
So I get what's I get what's, I think the circles were smaller back in the day. Like, you know, everyone kind of knew everyone back then. So, you know, I was working with Bobby at BTC China, and Charlie is just Bobby's brother, and we met up at a couple events. He came to China. We helped him, you know, do some promotional activities around Litecoin. So I guess that's, you know, my early relationship with Charlie. Whale Panda, he used to actually, you know, write some blog posts, and he wrote some interesting things. This was during the fork wars, and, you know, we just followed each other on Twitter and we start interacting. I think there was a conspiracy theory at the time that I was Whale Panda and he was my pseudonymous identity.
They're the
It's
same
kinda
person.
Yeah.
Like, no.
And then Ricardo, I think he's also, we also met because of the fork wars or civil war, and he was just posting stuff, and, you know, I like his stuff and I'd retweet him and he'd retweet me, and we ended up meeting at Consensus one year and hanging out for a bit. But, you know, it's just like a group of people that came together, probably similar to your origin story too, about how you got together. It's just, you know, people meeting and, you know, having like-minded ideals and ideas, and, you know, we decided to do a show together, more for educational purposes than anything. So, you know, we're not trying to aggressively monetize or promote magical crypto. It's just this kind of thing that we do casually once a month, if that, and it's just to talk about current day happenings amongst ourselves.
Now, is there photographic evidence that you are not the same person, or is it kind of like Clark Kent saying he's not Superman?
There are photos of me and Whale Panda in the same place at the same time, so yeah, it's disproven
It
already.
was just a hologram.
Right.
And during
We
the
actually
show,
don't
it's just
know.
really good AI.
We actually don't know if Ricardo exists because at MCC 2019 he showed up on the telepresence robot. So
Right.
he,
I remember that. That was.
Oh god, that was so
a good
funny.
one.
so there is a chance that he's not real.
How appropriate that would be now. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
had it
one
been
of the
like,
head
a year
coders-
later.
One of the head
Had it been a year
coders-
later, the circumstances, you know,
Right.
showing up in a robot to a conference would be all the rage right now.
Oh,
Well, now we just do VR.
yeah. And I'll sit there and take the VR, and I'll find you guys randomly in the crowd, take photos, and tweet that.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. I'm
That's
sitting there tweeting it out. I'm like, I found him in his natural form.
I agree, Tech Man.
I got a question for you. Do you think the way of the future when it comes to conferences and and conventions is going to be virtual from now on, or do you think there will come a time where we'll go back to actually having meetups?
Physical
Well,
meetups.
it's kind of tricky. So we're still slated to do MCC 2021 in New York. We still have our venue locked down for those dates in May, but we're debating about the feasibility, because a lot of those meet space conferences, it's about, you know, meeting people that you may not otherwise get a chance to meet, and that means people coming in from all over the world, from, you know, Venezuela, from Asia, from Europe. Well, even like Whale Panda's in Europe. Can he go to the US, and then does he need to quarantine? And when he goes home, does he need to quarantine? So the whole pandemic stuff has really put a damper on conferences, just because it's hard for people to get in and out of country fast, right? So we're still thinking about what to do, but I think we'll definitely do more VR events in the future, because people liked MCC VR. They thought it was fun, and we tried to gamify a lot of it and get the sponsors involved with having little mini contests to give out swag at their island. So we'll see what happens, but, you know, we're still talking about MCC New York, and if we can do it.
Yeah.
Do you think tickets to the events, virtual or otherwise, are going to be the same price, or will it be discounted for virtual?
Well, for virtual, we set a ticket price of $15 just because we have to process and manage that, and we don't want to be DDoSed effectively, right? But I think virtual event tickets should be cheaper. And, you know, even our physical event, our tickets were, I think, pretty fairly priced.
Yeah.
You guys could tell me, but
Yeah, they were. I since I attended it, it's like I'm still waiting on my swag. I got the $50 ticket. But I still haven't got my swag from it. I was thinking it was probably like a shirt or something like that.
No, it's a toy. It's one of
nice.
one of these.
Oh, sweet, yeah. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Nice.
I haven't gotten mine yet, but I got my ticket like the week before the event, so I'm sure I'm like last on the list.
Let me follow up.
Okay, cool.
But,
Thank you.
yeah, like a lot of conferences try to price an online event for like similar pricing to a physical event, but I don't think you can do that, especially if your conference is just like a 2D Zoom call. If you did a full VR event, maybe you can price it a bit higher because there's a lot of operational costs and development costs to go into that. But for us, like MCC and MCF are really just things for the community. We don't do that to make money. We do sponsor ads sometimes, but that's more to cover our own production costs than anything else. But we're happy to break even, so we didn't try to charge a lot for the physical event. Doing something in New York is expensive. Like, the whole conference market in New York is so shady. It's like we haven't discussed this publicly, but we call it like similar to ICO land, right? Like,
God, yes.
There's like specific companies that the venue says that you can use, and they're very expensive. But you can only use that company because that's the authorized company.
Companies they work with.
So you couldn't.
It's like a wedding all over again. When you go to a wedding venue, it's like you can have whatever you want, but you can only use these people.
Exactly. So
Really expensive.
The prices are jacked up. And
oh my God, all of New York is jacked up in prices. I'm like, and there's buildings that are like vacant out there, and they're like wanting almost $1 million a month to have it because they've got access to 2 different streets. It's like, you guys are on a different planet.
Not just that, you're on crack.
Yeah. So the way we've done it is really just like sponsors are subsidizing the conference, like Bitstamp, XBTO, BTC Turk. All of these guys sponsoring are the guys that make it possible. The tickets are really just to offset some of that cost, but it's it's a small offset.
Right.
It's really like when we say thanks to our sponsors, it's really thanks to the sponsors for allowing it to happen, because without them, it's not possible.
Right. Yeah, and it's like, and one thing I do like about like the physical conferences versus the virtual ones, and MCC kind of did the same thing, the virtual event as the mining summit that was held virtually and everything. You lost that that in between spokespeople chat. Like a lot of that did not exist. And I think that's one thing that it's like a little off-putting for the virtual events. But what I do like about the virtual events is that it gives me the chance to be able to actually go there in between work scheduling and all that stuff. I don't have to worry about a hotel room, airfare, because that gets expensive on the attendee side too. But it's like you don't get that hallway chat though virtually.
Yeah. But we tried to get that with MCC VR. So the whole setup for MCC VR is my design. So you have the lobby, and that's supposed to be like this gathering place where you're running between. Like if you're leaving a conference, a lecture hall, you go back to the lobby, and then you can go to a sponsor room. And we kind of had that circular design, right, for the lobby. So you kind of need to run from side to side if you want to get to different places. And I'm trying to replicate that serendipitous, interaction where you can bump into somebody at the conference.
Right. I mean, it's like
That's not exactly COVID safe, though.
Right. It gave me a chance. I mean, I did chat with a few interesting people, but I know that whenever I've gone to like physical conferences, like I get like a whole lot different of an experience, a lot more interaction. People like are there not only to just chit chat with you, but they're looking for how you're going to act too, because they're gauging you as much as judging you as much as you're judging them.
Yeah. But yeah, I like physical conferences. It's just when can we do them? That's the big question.
Yeah. Physical conferences are, in my opinion, some of the best ones, because then you do get those isolated conversations on it. Whereas on a Zoom call, you can only hear one person talking at a time, and they can't get to, person 150 out of 300.
Yeah.
So I do look forward to when we can have physical meetups, because that's how we got started. Brian and Mikkel and I, we all met down in Atlanta, back in 2017.
Yep.
Which conference was that? Or just a meetup?
It was a meetup for yen.io.
Yeah, Bitcoin Pub and Yen.io.
Mm-hmm. Which both have sunsetted as far as their current.
Bitcoin Pub is still around. It's just not as well known.
Yeah, it as far as the sunsetting, they've actually been talking about closing it down.
Yeah. So anyway, so Jay has a couple of questions for you. He says, "What is BlockStream Green?"
So BlockStream Green is I guess it's now our power user wallet. So I think a couple weeks ago, actually at MCCVR we announced Aqua, and that's the grandpa wallet. It's like for beginners and people that want to stack sats. So you can buy Bitcoin or liquid Bitcoin in that wallet. Green, we're shifting the focus a bit, because Green has always been a privacy-focused, powerful wallet. It's multi-sig, so the second signature is with BlockStream. So you can set up a two-factor authentication. You can use Google Authenticator or something like that, or through a phone call or email. But essentially, you can kind of control your spending. You can set velocity limits, and then have that second factor to sign off. So even if you lost your phone, they can't take all your Bitcoin off your phone. But we're moving more towards that direction. We added Tor support a while back, and I think moving forward, we want to add more bells and whistles like coin selection, more privacy features, and potentially other things too. But that's the kind of separation between the two wallets right now, and I think it's a bit confusing. People are seeing, well, why do you have two? And the market is big enough to support multiple focuses per wallet, I think.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I've kind of played around with BlockStream Green a little bit. For me, I like it, but I consider myself an advanced user, so it doesn't bother me. I'm like, oh, I like this. It's extra security, another layer. It's all about adding that extra layer of protection.
Yeah.
The more layers that they have to go through, the more secure you are, because eventually they'll either A, give up, or B, just never accomplish it.
Well, there's a lot of stuff in there. There's a hardware wallet support too, so you can use hardware wallet with Green. What else is there? We have watch-only wallets. There's just so much stuff in there that it can be daunting for a new user. So that's why we decided to make that easier.
And then you're able to like transact through the Lightning network and everything. And
not yet.
Not
yet.
Oh, okay. So that's something that's on the roadmap then.
Yeah, we're just short on resources. There's just too much to do. Like we still need to work on an Android version of Aqua as well. But
yay!
So we're supporting a lot of different stuff. Like Green is on Android and iOS and desktop. So we're not a massive team of like hundreds of people. We're about 70, 75-ish right now. So given that we're working on Lightning, satellite, mining, wallets, liquid, data feed, there's just a lot going on at any given time.
I'm actually surprised that iOS approved, because knowing how anti-crypto, the iPhone and Apple and all them are.
I don't know. Like, are they? I think they disapprove some apps. Like
they're anti anything that looks like it's mining.
Yeah, they're not cool with mining.
But
no.
All the Bitcoin wallets are on iOS, so I don't think it's an issue for just providing a wallet.
No.
Right.
If you're trying to go deeper down into kind of financial services or maybe mining, that's when they get kind of icky.
Yeah.
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 Jay says, can you use a treasure with Green? No, you can use a ledger.
Yeah, I think you can use a Trezor too.
Sorry. Want to get before we get away from that topic.
Oh no problem.
That question. Get tied back in.
Yeah. Both are supported.
Techman has said, "What is your favorite crypto project?" Not financial advice.
Like Bitcoin or
Like
outside
Bitcoin?
of Bitcoin?
Just anything in general, I guess.
Like, you mean a currency or something building on top of it, like a wallet
Ooh.
infrastructure?
Ooh, answering a question with a question.
Ooh,
Like it.
nice. X Yazaza said for his kid's first wallet was green.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What up, Grits? How you doing, buddy? Coin, says Techman. So your favorite coin project?
It's Bitcoin.
Mic drop, walk off.
Exactly.
Take the drink of the Bitcoin mug.
Yeah. But, I think if I have to look at other projects too, then I think Litecoin is doing some good stuff. They're working on Mimblewimble extension blocks.
Yes.
I've
So
always
excited for that.
I like what Monero is doing. It's a real privacy coin, unlike
Not
some of
biased, of course, right?
not biased, of course. Like,
No, not
Yeah.
biased, of course.
There's actually real development happening on these projects, and I
Right.
think, like, if you look at Magical Crypto Friends from higher level, we're all very focused on privacy and fungibility, right?
Mhm.
And I think any project that really does material contributions to that is a good project in my view. So I'm not like a super maximalist. Like, I think Bitcoin is great, but I'm okay with other projects that I believe are doing good things for the ecosystem and for privacy.
I like it.
Just not XRP.
I like it. It's a solid foundation when you think about it. It's solid. It's solid.
It's funny. So I remember seeing Jay ask another question about something that I was going to ask myself about BlockStream satellite, because I find that very interesting tech. The fact that it's a satellite. You know what I mean? You can bring in Bitcoin blockchain onto the satellite and utilize that. So tell us a little bit about that and how that works for everybody. Because I mean, you can go to BlockStream.com, which down below in the description there's actually a link. So to learn more about BlockStream, you can click here and it goes to the About page to learn more about them. But you can go into the product section and go to BlockStream Satellite, and it's a kit. So you can actually buy a kit to utilize this.
Yeah, so we sell these satellite kits or Bitcoin satellite kits, and they're actually for more advanced people. So maybe you guys can set it up, but it's not really plug and play. So you need to compile the software and set it up on a Linux laptop too.
Ooh.
There's like a barrier to using it, and that's something we want to make easier in the future. We actually do want it to be plug and play.
Can it be
or just
done with
download.
a Raspberry Pi instead of a laptop?
I'm not sure actually. That's a question for not Grubels. He's our satellite engineer. So
Oh,
you can
okay.
Yeah,
ping him
I
on-
bet it could if you're running like the Pi 4 8 gigabyte,
Yeah.
because you have plenty of headroom
Right.
to run all of that.
The idea with BlockStream Satellite is, BlockStream, we're building all this infrastructure on top of the Bitcoin network. We're building Liquid, we're building AMP, which is asset management platform to manage things like security tokens. But at the base of it all is Bitcoin. So we want to make sure that the Bitcoin network is robust and resilient. And I think the biggest thing that BlockStream Satellite provides is protection against network splits. So you can actually have network splits in a country where there's a significant amount of hash rate if the internet is cut off, either through natural disasters or an undersea cable is cut. Then they might think a transaction is valid or mine a transaction, whereas outside it's not valid. Or if any one person in that region is running BlockStream Satellite, they can actually keep that territory in sync with the rest of the network. So there's a really practical use case here, which is prevention of fracturing of the network. But we can also use BlockStream Satellite for our own mining operations. So because you can sync up a full node anywhere using the satellite service, you can spin up a node where there's no internet. But you can also continuously get the blocks and stuff too. So if you're mining in the middle of the desert, let's say you have very cheap solar power, you can set it up in the desert and get the blockchain in sync. And if you find a block, you can just broadcast it through a lower bandwidth medium, like through a cell phone signal or something like that. and that makes it so you can actually mine where there's no internet, and I think that's a big game changer. I don't know of any cases of it happening yet, but that's one of our motivations. So it'll essentially support our mining operation. Satellite and mining can kind of be interlinked.
Yeah, dude, it's such great technology. I've been looking at it for a while, and I'm like, oh. But I've been looking. Of course, I'm looking at the Pro Kit, and I'm like, $8.99 is hard to swallow. I don't know if I can like mining equipment, making more Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Dang.
Well,
3080. BlockStream
you
Pro Kit. Don't know.
can buy the basic kit, and
Yeah.
I think you can also just buy parts yourself off of Amazon and do it kind of DIY. So
Yes, the Pro Kit is $8.99, and there is a basic kit which is $3.99.
yeah, but those are optional. You can do the whole thing just like with off-the-shelf parts.
There we go. So it is possible to DIY.
Definitely for those two, because I'm more of the plug and play guy.
Oh yeah. He had me when he said it had to run with Linux. I was like, all right, I'm sold.
I
was
got a
happy
question
I-
about your wallets real quick.
Link to look at it, Grits. Gotcha.
BlockStream Green and your Aqua wallets, what are the fees on there for, using them? Like,
Well-
how Coinbase has a fee, Cash App has a fee, like all these different wallets have fees. What are the fees like?
Well, those ones are custodial. So both Green and Aqua are non-custodial. So you're just paying the fees directly. We don't make anything at all. There's no.
You're paying minor fees.
Yeah, you're just paying the minor fees, and you can set them. So in Green, you can set a custom fee. You can lowball at 1 sat per VByte if you wanted. Same for Aqua.
2 weeks later.
Yeah, usually it clears on the weekend, but I think this weekend the 1 sat transactions didn't clear.
No, not at all. Didn't even try.
But you see,
Yeah.
this is why you need Liquid. A lot of the on-chain transfers are just inter-exchange payments, like people sending Bitcoin from one exchange to another. Maybe they're covering their positions, they're over-leveraged and they need to move funds around or whatever. But if more people integrated Liquid, more exchanges integrated Liquid, and more people did Liquid transactions, then the main chain would not be as bogged down. And I think it's important as we move into the next bull run that people pressure their exchanges, like integrate this technology. It's beneficial for trading.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys able to accept purchases through Visa or MasterCard yet?
In Aqua?
Either one.
So the idea is that Green will focus on privacy, so we probably won't have Bitcoin purchases in Green.
Yeah.
But Aqua, it's more for beginners and people that want to stack. So we integrated Wire, and next on the roadmap, we want to integrate side shift and let you shift between different liquid assets too, and potentially more venues where you can buy Bitcoin. But what was your original question? Oh yeah, so with Wire you can use Apple Pay to buy Bitcoin. So yeah, you can kind of use your credit card in that sense.
That's
All right.
interesting.
I dig it.
For anybody starting out, Aqua
Bitcoin
seems to
jig.
be the way to go.
Bitcoin checks. That's why you do 1.2 sats per byte, so it clears before the rest.
Smart guy.
1.2.
At 1.2. Gotta love it, man. Bitcoin jig. Knowledge right there, man.
He's
Knowledge.
leaking alpha.
Right.
He says, you got XY, Zaza says, he goes, I'm generous. I'll go 2 to 3. Dang.
Baller.
It's very generous of you.
But it's kind of
The,
sad.
the miners appreciate that.
Eventually, we won't be able to lowball. It just won't work anymore. It's kind of
Yeah. Eventually.
yeah. Eventually, well, who knows? Maybe in a year, no
Just
more.
buy all
lowballs.
all the Bitcoin that you're gonna buy now, and then just start mining it. So you don't have to worry.
Man, what do you
So
think
there's profit
about?
from all
It's like it's like that's gonna bring usher in order to do that, you'll have to basically usher in all the companies, all the everybody's basically utilizing it, like Square and PayPal. What's your take on with like PayPal and Square coming on board?
Well, I think it's inevitable. Like, a lot of people will find Bitcoin by themselves. So, Michael Saylor got into Bitcoin in a big way, and I don't think anyone reached out to him and said, hey, learn about Bitcoin. So we're going to see more and more people just discovering it and educating themselves about Bitcoin in the future.
Correct.
And, a lot of these companies are going to buy Bitcoin and convert their cash reserves, because cash is just horrible. You're losing it by having it. Right, so there is nothing better to do than to buy Bitcoin. And when it really gets interesting, is really nation states starting to put their reserves into Bitcoin, right? Just like a lot of central banks buy gold, maybe they'll start buying Bitcoin, and that is when I think we'll start to see hyper Bitcoinization, because for nation states to print money, it's free, so they can print as much as they want. And once they start buying Bitcoin, then the fiat currencies are just going to dissolve into nothing.
And you don't.
Yashnik in the live chat, he says, any partnership with SpaceX? And then Bitcoin Jake says, yeah, you need to answer that. Elon needs to hear it.
So I think one of the satellites that we lease space on for BlockStream satellite is a SpaceX launch. So you could stretch it a bit and say we did use SpaceX somehow, but I think Elon has his own idea with Starlink, and it's looking more and more feasible. Like, it's not going to be as expensive, I think. Well, we'll see. It's TBD still, but potentially we're open to working together with Elon Musk and Starlink to deliver Bitcoin blockchain over his service. But so far he hasn't returned my emails.
That would be pretty interesting. And I mean, it's an interesting project that he's coming out with and working on. That's for sure. I do agree. Let's see. Jay Meyer says, what makes
your crypto exchange better than like CMC or the others?
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
You got to interpret it when you're typing with fat thumbs or using voice chat.
I don't have a crypto exchange, so I'm not sure.
I think there's only 2 different satellite kits, Jay. There's a basic and then a pro, and I guess there's a flat panel antenna, but I don't know if that's a kit. I think it's just the antenna.
Yeah, that's just the antenna.
Then you have to find everything else.
Yeah, but flat panel is just cool. You can still use like the regular round dish, but some people like the panel because it's kind of high tech.
It's flat. It doesn't look like a dish.
It doesn't look like a dish.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Bitcoin Jake asks, thoughts on the future of Bitcoin tech, smart contracts, NFTs, and IPFSs?
That's a lot of thoughts.
That's a lot of.
Well, Bitcoin already has.
Yes.
Bitcoin already has smart contracts, so any multi-sig transaction is effectively a smart contract. Mm-hmm. We're working on Simplicity, which is a smart contracting language, eventually destined to be, I think, will be in Bitcoin, but it'll be on Liquid first. But you can do a lot of interesting things with Simplicity. So you can do asset-based loans. So if you issue a stable coin in Liquid Network, you can use Simplicity to create a loan. You can do vaults and limit orders too. So there's a lot of different things you can do with Simplicity, and I think we're aiming to see more of that in the next couple quarters, hopefully available on Liquid.
Was that something that you've talked with any of the core devs on Bitcoin?
Well, not really. I mean,
not really.
It's more about like what the community wants, right? And there's, I think, there are a few steps that need to be taken first. Like, first we need to activate Taproot and Schnorr signatures, and then I think maybe people will be interested in having Simplicity. But Simplicity still needs a higher level language. It's very low level right now, like compiler code, and we need some higher level things where people can use to create the contracts themselves. Like, not like protocol level developers, but normal developers.
Dang, Bitcoin Jake says Bulgaria owns at least 213,000 Bitcoins.
Do they? I thought that was a rumor.
He posted a link. I don't know if it's legit.
Fake news.
I don't know.
All news is
From
fake these
a
days.
no more tax.eu website, so I don't know. Oh, you were the one that came at me, puppy dog. I'm sorry.
Real life.
Yep. So yeah, because Jay says that your site says that you have the fastest exchange data, real time and historical.
Oh,
So.
I think he's talking about the ICE cryptocurrency data feed.
I think so.
Yeah.
How does that work?
So that's a partnership that we have with ICE. So ICE is the parent company of the New York Stock Exchange and Backed.
Okay.
Wow.
So we just we work with the different exchanges. We're already working with them for Liquid. So we basically sign a contract with them to take their data and then normalize it and compile it into the crypto data feed. And then ICE handles the sales to mainly institutional customers, and they use that data for a variety of their services too.
Nice.
Excellent. That's
It's-
impressive.
It's,
right
it's
there.
not that exciting, but it's a.
To us nerdy people, it's like, ooh.
It's enough to go. I'm listening. I remember
Because my
there was a
attention.
question like way up there from Bitcoin Jake, and I'm wondering it too. So, what is total hash rate of BlockStream mining facility? And
I don't think we've disclosed it. So
Oh,
You
okay, so
51% anything yet?
undisclosed.
yeah. So
Okay.
I think the bulk of our hash rate is for our hosting clients right now. So
Right.
we don't think it's appropriate to tell people what they have.
Right.
So-
It'd be. We'd be curious to know what BlockStream
Dang,
personally
LOL.
has. Not. It's like totally get what you're saying. It's like you don't want to
Yeah.
dox any of your clients.
I think you meant like total hash rate of the facility.
Well, again, like we don't want to disclose too much of
Right.
it, but I think between our two sites in Quebec and Georgia, we have a total capacity of 300 megawatts, but it's not all utilized yet.
Oh. I thought we were being impressive. Mikkel's trying to look for 25 megawatts.
Goals.
right.
Yeah,
He took the one up on
You
that one.
We thought. And the Ethereum mining over there at BlockStream.
No Ethereum mining.
No Ethereum mining? Is it all ASICs, or do they dabble in GPUs, FPGAs?
I think it's all ASICs, but again, like it's up to our hosting clients what they want to mine or host with us. So we don't tell them, you can only mine Bitcoin. If they really wanted to mine something else, and let's say they bought Litecoin ASICs, like yeah, sure, it's just hosting.
Okay. All right. Do you have any experience of FPGA mining?
Not really. Like when I got into Bitcoin mining, there was already ASICs, so I missed the FPGA era.
the
missed
real
it.
small window of FPGA, because it was like laptops, GPUs, small little entry of FPGAs, and an ASICs took over.
Yeah,
Yep.
pretty much.
Techman says, are you registered with SEC in the USA?
Not really, because we don't provide financial services. So my game company, Pixelmatic, is building this game called Infinite Fleet, and we're working
I'm
on.
drooling on that. I'd like to test that.
any chance we could be alpha testers or beta testers for you guys? We don't mind helping.
We'll see. I have to ask the team, but
Okay.
that is a security token. So we filed a Reg D with the SEC, and we're working on our Reg A plus filing. So I guess that is in touch with the SEC. Also for INX, they're doing their security token. and we need to work with some of our partners to engage with the SEC to get approval for their token on the Liquid network. So those are areas that we need to engage with the SEC probably.
Interesting. What about KYC?
For what?
Well, for my purposes, what about your wallets? Do your wallets require KYC or anything
No,
else?
because they're all non-custodial, so there is no KYC.
Right. The only thing that would be like a KYC event is like getting, kind of like getting onto the game side of it. That's where you'd basically be KYCing, but you could probably still make that pseudonymous at the same time.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Like, definitely, if you're investing in Infinite Fleet, then there is a KYC process. So, Stalker is our broker in the EU, and I think if you're investing through Stalker, then you have to complete their KYC.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to hard to not do invest in a security and not be KYC'd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Jay says, could you explain how Elements works?
Wow, so many questions. So
I know.
We have a
Elements,
very interactive audience that really wants to know.
So Elements is just a fork of Bitcoin, and it's where we do most of our R&D. So I think SegWit was first deployed in Elements, and confidential assets, confidential transactions, and Liquid is basically an implementation of Elements. So you can download Elements and run that, and that is how you connect to the Liquid network. That's basically your Liquid node, and it's open source, so anyone can fork Elements and create their own sidechain or whatever. I believe Commerce Block also uses Elements too.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So it would be integrated for people to use it as e-commerce?
Sorry?
So people will be able to use it as e-commerce?
No. So Commerce Block is another company that does sidechains. So
okay.
They use Elements for that. And I think recently they're playing with state chains too. So they're doing some interesting things.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting saying tokenizing is I think what he is. Why hasn't Steam done it? I don't think he meant stream. I think he meant Steam. So why hasn't Steam done tokenizing for gaming? Yeah, they haven't. Well, they tried a long time ago. If you remember, there used to be, but you used to be able to buy things with Bitcoin on Steam. That was a thing for a very short time.
Yeah.
But it was a thing.
Yeah. So I think a lot of traditional game companies don't really feel the need to dabble in cryptocurrencies or even tokenization, because they're comfortable with their existing business models, right?
Yeah.
Very comfortable.
Release half of a game for $60 and then pay monthly to get extra maps as they finish the game.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a new incumbent that ends up pushing this tech forward and disrupting them. So that's my hope for Infinite Fleet. The idea is that we're making a AAA game, and that's going to draw in a big user base that will then be exposed to a crypto asset, because the in-game currency of Infinite Fleet is a Liquid token, and that's actually a real utility token. So we're not selling it; it's earned from playing the game. But I don't think that Blizzard or World of Warcraft would try that, because it's outside of their comfort zone, and there's just no need for them to experiment with that. But I think it's interesting to open up this dynamic where players can have a portable game currency, because ultimately players want to trade peer-to-peer. They want secondary markets, and I believe it's easier just to
So you're gonna
give
gamify it like World of Warcraft, then, kind of.
Well, Infinite Fleet is an MMO strategy game, so it does have a game currency similar, like Warcraft Gold or.
Right, because I was an early adopter on World of Warcraft, and it was like it started off really kind of harmlessly, and then you'd start seeing like groups of people that were just mining gold all day long. and it's like Brock Pierce, I know, had something set up on there for mining it in China, and it was like it wasn't until World of Warcraft decided to devalue their gold that all come to a screeching halt. Are people going to be able to do something like that on Infinite Fleet then?
Well, we want to avoid farming in the traditional sense of the word, right?
Yes.
So you're going in there and you're like bashing monsters and getting a little bit of gold. So that's not what we want.
Right.
So we want people to play the game and earn the currency through gameplay and social interactions. So we're trying to structure everything where you have to play to earn. So you do group activities like group raids, and then you earn that INF token through collaborative endeavors. And
kind of like taking on a guild quest.
Kind of, yeah. So you
You
can't
gotta
just
complete quests, get achievements. You have to be. It would entice you to be doing something. And
exactly.
you would have to be interacting with the game and
Nice.
constantly
I
trying
like
to do stuff.
that.
So that's
Yeah,
an
because
effective way to do that.
you'll never get rid of the farmers, right? There's
No.
always going to be someone. It's basically an arbitrage of time. If you have more time, then you can do something and earn the currency, right?
Yeah,
If
because the
someone else
time
would-
outweigh the reward.
Exactly. So as long as they're playing the game, how we envision the game should be played, like doing social or group activities, it's okay if they're farming that way, because then they effectively become a part of the content for other players too, right?
Right.
As long as they're not like stealing your mobs and killing your little animals or whatever and taking the gold, that's when the game experience degrades. So we think there's a way to do it in a win-win scenario where it erode the game itself.
Bitcoin Jake says, "What language is the game written in?"
And he also asks, when
Will it be?
will
Yeah,
it be open sourced?
Probably not. I mean, it's like even if you open source a game, it's difficult for people to maintain it. So, for as an example, when we did MCC VR, that's based on Mozilla Hubs, and that was all open source. We had to do a lot of customizations, and there's like a lot of stuff under the hood to keep it operational.
And you
So
guys
even
still had an issue, like on
Yeah.
the first day.
yeah, so open sourcing the game is not necessarily mean that the game is going to continue on even without the original dev team, right? There's a lot of stuff that has to happen. Security has to be patched constantly. But yeah, what was the original question? What language? It's
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
built in Unity, so it's C#.
Oh, nice.
And I think the back end is Python.
Go Python. Yeah. XYZ says, "My gamer friends just don't understand or care about crypto." He goes, "It just boggles my mind." Yeah.
Well, the thing
Yeah.
is, like, for
I
Infinite
got a lot
Fleet-
of gamer friends too. Say the
Yeah.
same thing.
for Infinite Fleet, it's not like in your face. Like a lot of the blockchain games, quote unquote, they kind of like slam you with a wallet creation at the beginning, right? Or you even need to buy some cryptocurrency to play their game. But for Infinite Fleet, what we want to do is just make it an option. So when you go in, it's not in your face at all. You earn INF tokens, and then you can choose to withdraw at a later date if you want to, or deposit. But it's not like a barrier to entry.
Ooh,
or
I've got a good one. Now, while you're earning these tokens, are you able to like recirculate it right back into your gaming experience?
if you're earning the tokens, then
Right.
the plan is that there is an auction house. So you can, if you're short on some resources or you want to buy a leveled up ship from another player, you can just buy that from them using the INF currency.
Oh, yes.
So it makes it usable.
Yeah.
Has more purpose than just
Right.
dollar value.
And that would compete a little bit with some of the bigger guys that like Steam. Because like with Steam, everything stays within their ecosystem. Once it goes in, it can never come back out. At least you're going to be giving the same experience when you're making a AAA game, and then you're going to be able to actually pull back out. Go, oh wait a minute, I don't want to leave that $100 there. I've been grinding for 4 months.
Well,
Move
I
that to a
believe,
secure wallet or something.
yeah, you could take it out and store it on a wallet too. If you have a guild, then you could potentially create a multi-sig wallet because it's a liquid token. so you can have hardware wallet support and multi-sig wallets too.
That would be amazing. The reason why okay, so I was I helped beta test World of Tanks.
Yeah.
And early on, whenever they set up the guilds and or it's like the factions and stuff, the group that I was in, we had a treasurer. The treasurer and the main founders had a big fight. The treasurer left with all the game currency, depleted that wallet out real quick because he was in control.
Pretty much. And in EVE Online, sometimes people will infiltrate a guild, spend maybe months or even a year earning the trust, and then steal their funds. So this is a way to avoid that.
Yes.
You would need more than one guild member.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I know so many people that would have just that fundamental right there. They'd be like, "Oh my God, light bulbs!"
Yeah. Zaza likes the DAO guild because it's an interesting. Yeah, that's a very interesting aspect. And helps defeat that same, like you're saying, people gaining the trust and then coming in, taking all the gold, and just
Walking away.
Jesus. Thanks for all that hard-earned money. It only took me a year. It took you probably like 5.
Right.
So yeah, it makes sense. So when is something like that gonna be released and open for the public? Like, when's the game going live?
So we're aiming for alpha at the end of this year, probably in December. We'll see. Like, that is a target, but we might slip, and then it'll be January. But it'll be a staged alpha, so probably 50 to 100 players at first, and then we'll release an update and open up the floodgates a little bit more and take on a few more players throughout the 2021.
He's
Dear
a coder.
Santa,
He's
we
a
want to be beta testers.
He's
Now,
a
Dear
coder.
Santa.
That means December plus 3
Dear
months.
Satoshi. It's not Santa, it's Satoshi.
Dear Samson.
Oh man, that's a good one.
So you guys all seem to be pretty hardcore gamers.
When we all play games, I play games. We've even done some poker tournaments.
We've
over
done online
cryptocurrency.
games for charity.
Yep.
And
I've
poker
played in a
tournaments.
couple. Me and Red Panda Mining. We played in a tournament for Call of Duty Warzone.
Nice.
For it was about $500 in Bitcoin. We lost first round, but whatever.
And I've been beta testing for 9 Chronicles.
Right.
So helping them find glitches and and screenshotting issues and stuff like that. So
Yeah. I'm looking to set up some more tournaments here soon. So
we have a tournament coming up.
We play
December
games.
12th.
Yeah, for poker.
Have you guys heard of Mint Gox?
Yes, I participated in their Bitcoin bounty hunt tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yes.
We've been a pretty big sponsor on their on their page for a while.
Their tournament was fun too.
Yeah.
Especially when you could see DCA Adventure advertisements in the game.
And play with it, and I like that game. That's one of my favorites that's been on there. The cart one was fun. I got to play that one. I played that event. I got in like last minute, and it was like lagging pretty bad for me, and I didn't get to play. But I got in and started to play, and I was like, oh no, I wanted to play so bad.
Yeah, the servers are in Europe, so I think I did a race with the Magical Crypto friends, and I think Whale Panda won because he's in Europe and their servers are in Europe. That's the only reason.
Connection.
Only reason. Nice.
That lower ping wins every time. Every time.
Oh yeah.
The same thing in mining too. Lower ping. It's better.
Yeah.
Yashnik asks, Samson, have you ever heard of clan play?
Clan play? No, haven't.
Never heard of it either, Ashton.
No.
You might want to give us a description.
Well, I know
Tell-
like you can have a clan,
You get to play?
That they
All play together.
That all play
Literally.
together.
Got it. We got it.
Yeah.
There we go. World of Warcraft.
Right, exactly.
Haven't played it though. Yeah, but I do want to.
Gundy says he would definitely be on board
just wondering.
for DCA Adventure Squad.
Oh, for sure, dude. It'd be fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'd all be sporting the esports.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a hardcore World of Warcraft fan.
I'm like having to be right there next
No,
to you.
it's in my computer desk, so that's why I get like I had
it's
to
right
reach.
next to him.
I had to get back in there, reach all the way.
But hey,
down.
I did want to say I don't want to be like too crazy every time. We have been on here for about an hour now, cautious every time and everything. And I do want to thank you for coming on here. It's been a pleasure and an honor. After like watching all the shows and everything, he's like, "We're getting Samson on." I was like, "No way!" I was like, "Dude, I want to talk to this guy forever."
Yes,
It's been fun.
yes.
I've done a couple of videos that had mentioned you before and whatever. And I was like, "Yes." I was like, "Yes."
Yeah,
I'm
happy to be
love-
on.
We would love to get the rest of the magical crypto friends on here too at some point. That'd be amazing if that was ever possible.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Like, I think you should just reach out. Ricardo likes to go on shows, so
Oh, nice.
I think it'd be
Good
nice
to
to
know.
get a big group stream together. You know, Magic Crypto friends, and then our team, because there are 2 other members of our team that are not here with us. So I think it'd be a fun, like, just a group sit down, chit chat, and just talk. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, just let the
Nothing crazy.
conversation go off the rails on Friday.
Yeah. Fridays are pretty bad. It's just we just go, just
Yeah,
talk. It's
Friday
Friday.
is literally just an excuse for us to hang out and have fun together.
yeah.
Mhm.
You know, as a community.
It's hard for us because like we're on different time zones.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yes.
it's either like super early for me or super late for me.
Oh yeah.
So we'll have to see.
It's funny to see
Right.
Whale Panda. He's like, "Oh God, leave me alone, guys. I'm tired."
He's had a whole day. Just no.
Yeah, we'll start our stream and then Peter Stone will come in from Iceland and he'll like 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey
What's up, guys? Good morning. And I'm like, it's like it's midnight. Dude, we're about to get off here. Like, what do you mean good morning? Good night. But yeah, everybody is saying thank you for coming on the stream. Everybody's saying FA in the chat.
Oh,
FA, of
I-
course, FA. Everybody.
it's
FA.
time. I have to do it. They're saying it. So,
I'm spamming it.
Samson, thank you for being here. You are rated F for fucking awesome.
Thank you.
That is the going theme. FA stands for fucking awesome, of course, as it goes for. So everybody spams it in the chat. We've got it in the small community. You see everybody doing it. They're just FA. It's funny,
It's starting to spread into other channels too.
which makes it more enjoyable. You can go, you go scroll by a stream and you see people FA, and you're like, haha, all right, FA. Let's join in on that.
Just don't miss the A, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. 'Cause if you know it's just a fail, it's bad. That's where it all stemmed from too. It was from a fail and just a fail. And if you fail, there is an NFA. You know, it's not fucking awesome. It's that bad. But dude, I just really appreciate it.
It's been fun.
It is a pleasure. It's been fun. And it's always nice to talk to people. It's just a casual experience, not just all business. Just want to keep it real. We're all real people.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We don't want to talk crazy business all the time. There are times and places for it, but you know, there's ways to get the good word out without doing that.
Yeah.
And being super technical and being relatable is the main key. So appreciate it.
Yep. Sharing the story, being a real person and not a robot.
Yep.
There you go.
And we'd love to have you on the show at another time too. That would be awesome too. Keep the the doors open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
For sure. Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. Everybody say in the chat, thank you, Samson, for being here. And if you haven't already, subscribe down below, smash the like button, and hang out with us in the Discords. Links in the description. And if you want to support us, Patreon is definitely the way to go. Brian and Nem Brian and Nem. Brian and Miguel teaching everybody everything about mining. So if you have any questions, they're definitely the guys to ask. Jay is just killing it with his technical analysis. And guys, expect a lot of good things from dogelord.com.
Don't delay, buy today.
Right, thanks.
Oh, and if you haven't already, join the affiliate program. Get paid.
Right. And with
Appreciate
that,
it.
guys, we'll definitely see you all on the next one. Yo.
right.
Peace out, guys.
Bye.
Guys.